Hi, my name is Chris Peterson. I'm the owner of Rivendale Homes, and I wanted to talk to you today about a blog that I wrote called Our Step-by-Step Architectural Planning Process for Custom Homes. The first step in that process is something we call discovery and vision alignment. And what that is we'll meet with the homeowners. We have a questionnaire, and again, you can get the questionnaire on our website. We have a questionnaire that we go through with the prospective owner builders, and we try and understand what's important to them, what their budget is, what their timeline is, and sit down and talk about cost and just get a rough parameter for what the home might look like when it's finished. We're talking about now verbally here, going through this process and talking about verbally what the home might look like. We build about 15 to 20 homes a year in Austin. Generally, we've got something that we can meet people at and give them a pretty good idea, or something we built maybe last year that we can give them a pretty good idea. So we're able to zero in pretty quickly on really what their vision is, what their budget is, and that's the process we call discovery and vision alignment. That's the first step in the process. The second step in the process is site plan evaluation and feasibility. We'll meet the owners out at their lot. We'll take a look at the lot. We'll get a topo ordered so we can understand the topography. We'll take a look at the trees, the utilities, go through all those issues, talk through the issues with them, take a look from a financial standpoint. There's always Austin Energy upgrades required, new tap plans that are required. The topography may have some issues that make designing in a certain area a lot more expensive. And of course, there's always trees in the city of Austin that we have to work around. So those are all constraints that we deal with at that particular point in time. The next step in the process is preliminary design development. And at this point, we're working with the architect. We've gone over the lot. We have a topography map. We know the trees, and the architect is starting to lay out spaces for the house around the particular lot. We're working within a certain parameter for square footage. We've discussed the budget, so we know how many square feet we can afford. We know how many square feet is desired by the homeowner. And the architect is giving us some preliminary conceptual sketches. Typically, we'll get anywhere from 3 to 4 different sketches of different floor plans from the architect that we can look at, and we'll go over those once we receive those back from the owner. We'll talk about the different issues as far as how that may affect the house, what their desires were, whether there's a view corridor we're trying to take advantage of, whether there's any sun issues, whether we have pools playing a role in the particular house. So we'll review the house from many different angles, but certainly budget is one of the paramount angles that we're also looking at and discussing with them at that time. Now, the preliminary design phase, we may go through as few as 3, but as many as 6 different phases of design, which is basically back and forth between the homeowner and the architectural team, of which we're a member of the architectural team, and we're working each step of the way as refining the budget to make sure that we stay on budget. Again, every time I talk about budget, I always want to remind people, at least 30% of the custom homes that are designed in the city of Austin come in over budget. Come in over budget and never get built because they're that far over budget. Very easy for the budget to get away from a homeowner and an architect. Architects, it's not their job to know costs. Many of them even, don't really want to get involved in costs. Some of them have some idea, but because we're building 15 to 20 homes a year, we've got current pricing data that is accurate as of last week. We've got pricing data that'll be accurate as of next week or a month from now, as we're constantly bidding out houses and building new homes. We have probably some of the most up-to-date pricing data in the market. So we're able to give real-world examples of what things can cost. And generally, we can point people to something that we've either recently done or recently completed, so people can take a look at something and see, what that may buy. If you want to build a pool, we have different pools that we built around town and different pool layouts. If you want to look at a $100,000 pool or a $200,000 pool, we can either show you pictures or take you to the job site, or working on those types of pools. So the next step in the process is detailed architectural plans. And at this point, we're receiving what we believe to be the final architectural plans after the 3 to 6 different generations that have gone before from the architect. We're reviewing those with the owner, The owner's taking a look and making sure that they have everything in the plan that they want. We're looking at the homes from a documentation standpoint to make sure all the notes in the plans are correct. We're looking at the cabinet layouts, the lighting layouts, everything on the architectural plans to make sure that the house can be built in the field with the notes on the plans. We're also bidding it out and getting updating prices, and we're waiting for the owner for the green light to say, yes, this is the final set of plans. Next step in the process would be the design, refinement, and client approval. Hopefully at this point we've got everything on board. Again, we've done a great blog and a great video on 3D architecture, and you really want to watch that if you're watching this also, because that'll give you an idea of how quickly with 3D architecture we're able to move through the design process. It's not like it was a year ago. It's not like it was 10 years ago where we're doing 2D plans. We're developing these plans and we're developing them in 3D, so you're able to walk through the interior of the home and see the windows and see the spaces, see the volume, and we're able to detail out the interior of the home as we move through the process with cabinets and light fixtures and different texture. So you're really able to get a very good idea of what this home is going to look like when it's finished. And it allows us to move through the process so much more quickly and with much more confidence because we're all seeing these same pictures. Previously, architects, builders, obviously were very good in working with 2D plans because that's what we've had back since the beginning of time. But now with 3D architecture, we're really making great leaps forward, and we're really able to bring the homeowner's vision to life much more quickly and move through that process. So please check out that blog. The next step in the process is engineering coordination. At this point, the plan has been approved by the owner. We're able to send the plan out to have the foundation designed structurally, the frame designed structurally. These are key drivers of cost, and so it's a very important phase. Up to this point, we're just making a very educated guess as to the cost because we do not have engineering. Once the engineering is designed, we can really dial in on those numbers, and this is a key value engineering point where we work with the foundation designer, the structural engineer to design the home correctly, but also design it efficiently. The next step in the process is permit ready or submitting for building permit from the City of Austin. We have a specialist in our office, and I say a specialist, Ben Gowdy. Ben's been doing this for over 10 years. He's one of the best in the city. Generally, we can submit plans for permits, and the process is about a 45 to 70-day process to get a permit from the City of Austin. And then at that point, we're ready to start construction. So at that point, we go through a thorough pre-construction review. We've received our permit. We're ready to start construction. But we'll sit down, we'll go through the pre-construction meeting with the homeowner, make sure, and the architect, let's not forget the architect, pre-construction meeting with the homeowner and the architect, make sure that we've got everything on the plans noted and ready to go before we begin construction. With the owners there, we'll make sure we've got everything that's important to them. There's a number of changes that have gone through that process to this point, and we want to make sure that we've got all those changes that we're all on the same page. So before we start construction, this is really our last and final phase. We've got all of our interior selections done, all the exterior selections done, all the color, roofing materials, siding materials. They're all documented on the plan. They're all bid out. We're having one final meeting before we start to make sure we're all on the same page. And that's the final step in our architectural design process, but it really gives us a very detailed set of plans, a good set of working plans from the architect, a good set of 3D plans for the homeowner and visual walkthroughs for the homeowner so that they know what we're getting. And then we'll have meetings as we go through the construction process, which again, you can find our construction process on our blog and a video posted on what that process is after we've started construction.